You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
Ooh, welcome. Yes. It is Sit, Talk, and Listen. This is Payroll Rob. It is July 8th, 2024. Zavy, we are back. We did it. We are here 1 week or so after our last
3
episode.
weeks in a row now.
Hey.
We did Monday, and then we did the following Sunday, so 6 days, which is going to make it 8 days in between just because we're back to our regularly scheduled Monday.
Mm-hmm. This is what the people call consistency and
Know nothing about it.
top tier performance. If anything, we're at our peak, I'd say. Rounding into shape.
Where's the sponsorships?
Yeah, they're gonna come rolling in. Tony's he's at the phone bank right now. He's gonna be taking on the calls, coming in to sponsor this thing. So yeah, we're coming off the 4th of July weekend. It was a long one. I mean, for me, I was able to be off of work essentially from Thursday of 4th of July until this Sunday. I did work Sunday, but besides that, we got to spend a bunch of time in the country, blow up some fireworks, hang out with some friends, Woo! That kind of stuff. What about you, Dave? What did you do?
So we're going to have a 4-day weekend, but last Wednesday, it was pouring down rain Wednesday.
Yeah, it sure was.
I said last Wednesday it was pouring down rain Wednesday. Yeah, that's smart.
Cat and dogs.
Good radio. Anyways,
if you didn't catch it, was Wednesday.
We end up having to take Wednesday off, and then Thursday, which we were discussing, I thought I had to work, and at the time, Brant thought we also had to work, but then he had called and said, turns out we were not allowed to work. So you were correct. I even said, I was like, oh, Bob was right, because we were like, I was like, Bob seems to think that we can't work Thursday. We're like, no, we're working Thursday, but
hey,
turns out you were right.
I was only about 80% sure, so there was definitely room for air for me to be not.
Well, we really thought
correct.
It literally was that Wednesday night that we had learned that we could not work Thursday.
Well, look, now you know. Every 4th of July, from here on out, if you're having to think about working, you'd be like, hey, wait a minute, that's horse shit. Where's the rule?
So I had the Wednesday, Thursday off, but then we did have to come in Friday since we had that Wednesday off, which,
all right. So that's a little bit of a down bummer. Did you work
still
the full
had 4
day?
or 5 days off.
You did the full day on Friday?
Full day Friday, and then off Saturday, Sunday.
Did you see any fireworks? Any boom, boom, pow, pows?
Yeah.
On purpose? Not any accidental
Yeah,
ones?
I went out to Jay and Michelle Sanchez out in Arnold, and
doxing them.
they had... yeah, Arnold. I can't. It's like Robert is the name of some. Anyways,
what's the
Scott
street
Robert,
address?
Scott Robert. That's the name of it. But anyways, Mike had bought a bunch of.
Oh, Mike did. Nice.
Yeah, dude. He had quite a bit. So it's
whisker
cool.
do's and whisker don'ts.
Yeah, man.
With or without the scooter stick.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking about being a lame and staying in. Like part of me, like I watched the Cardinals game. I think I watched the Cardinals game during the daytime with my mom. Mm-hmm. Then I came home, and I'm like, man, just chilling in my boxers on the chair.
Yeah.
But Brent was like, come on out. My brother was out there. Funny enough, obviously have to say it now.
Come on now. He said, funny enough. Pause.
So I get out there, and my brother's just sitting there looking like sus for sure. And I was like, what's up with this dude? And then I was like, are you high?
Oh no.
Yeah, dude. So
Bilbo Baggins.
He was puffing it, dude.
Hitting the devil's lettuce.
I think he only hit it once, but he don't smoke that much. So he was just, I know my mom listens to this.
Dox and Billy too.
Right off the bat, dude. So
Look,
Billy was... Yeah.
He's slower developed, okay? So he's going through that teenage rebellion now. At 22. 23.
He's 23.
He's feeling 23. Nobody likes you when you're 23.
But it's funny. My dad will get a kick out of that. Oh, my goodness. I feel bad. Should we edit this out?
I don't know. I'll whip out the scissors later. I don't do any editing. I don't know if anybody knows that about this show. We're raw dogging it.
I feel like we just got to let it be. But
We do. It's out there
Can't
now.
be, he's 23. Oh well, he got high one time.
My God, he's of age.
Yeah, it's legal here.
Yeah. So at the cabin, it was fun. I you know me. I like to golf. I had used to golf a lot more often. I was on the golf team in high school because I did track, and I said running for running's sake is not for me. So time to go hit golf balls in the spring. Best $50 ever every spring. You were on the golf team, huh? Yeah, Xavier?
Yeah, golf is the one sport that I started off and like naturally, I was like, oh, I have a natural knack at this. Like started off pretty well, as well as for golf terms. Like, you know, there's times where I hit the ball far and straight. There's times like anyone else but dude, the more and more I've played that sport, it's the only sport that I get worse every fucking time.
No, golf is funny in that way. It's definitely true,
dude.
Because I haven't played. So I hadn't played probably for like almost 2 years going into this weekend, and then a bunch of the guys from down there at the cottage farm at the country estate that we got out there. So they were organizing a little golf outing.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, I went out there on Friday morning because I had a gig Wednesday night, and then Thursday we went over to some friends, Katie and Norm's. So I went out there for Thursday night, like 4th of July night, drove out to the cabin so that I could get up Friday morning and go golfing with these fellers. We ended up having 12 guys golfing. So, I mean, we were just playing
I
best
stuck
ball.
behind that crew.
No, like you think we were all just jam-packed on one hole. Like, okay, let's all wait around for the next guy to tee off. No, fuck that. We had, groups of four.
Okay.
Four of us on a hole.
Did Joe go?
No, Joe doesn't. He doesn't belong to the country estate.
Ooh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, come on
High
now.
society.
Yeah, and we were playing at DeSoto Country Club. Yeah, real highbrow stuff.
That's kind of funny. It's like an oxymoron. The Soto Country Club.
It is absolutely an oxymoron. It's a nice little 9-hole course. It's not too difficult, not too easy. A little tight. Some of the drives a little tight. So we played that morning, and then a small group of guys went and played the next morning. So I had 2 days in a row of golfing, 9 holes each day.
Did you break 50?
I did not break 50 on my own. The first day we
Your
broke
game's
50.
really falling
Oh
off.
man, yeah. The first day we broke 50 is a scramble, best ball. The second day, I played worse overall, but I had better shots. Like towards the end of the day, I tell you, that's my golf game right now. Is I'll put together about two or three bad shots, and then hit 2 really good shots, and then 2 or 3 really bad shots, and then there's a really good shot again.
Dude,
it got worse. That's all I'm really saying.
I mean,
it got worse.
if you went with
from
me,
day 1 to day 2.
I need a sports psychiatrist for golf at these points, dude. A worm burner. I don't know what. Like I said, I used to be able to hit the shit out of the ball. Like at least I'm not saying straight, but I could crush the fucking thing. And dude, I don't know what has happened, but straight into the freaking ground. If I even sometimes I swing and miss.
Ooh,
yeah.
No, I wasn't playing that bad.
No, I don't know what's happened.
It's a mental game, man. 100% mental.
And you know me, like I get so worked up
because you could have the worst swing physically ever. Gosh. It could be a rough looking swing, but if you're strong mentally and you're like, all right, I'm gonna have this is gonna be a good shot. Sometimes it'll work out.
I think I've since the last time I went, I was finally starting to get some lift on the ball, but then I went home and do as people do now and looking up tips on YouTube. So I think there are some things that I can implement, like that whole little thing where you put your hands, you cross your arms, kind of like the genie, and you
do the little genie thing.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Anyways,
I'm not hip to
not a
that
great
tip.
visual. We don't have not great for the listeners, but
we just got to be better at describing it.
That's enough for golf talk for now.
Oh, okay. So I golfed those 2 days. I got worse the second day, but then after the golf on the second day, there was a cornhole beanbag.
I do love some cornhole,
and I will. I'll praise myself here. Me and my partner, we were victorious. Number one winners. We went home with $45 each for the pot.
Oh, really?
So yeah, good little day.
For the pot, that's probably is what you spent it on.
No, I spent it on our bar tab at the country estate.
Fair enough. The DeSoto Country Club.
Yeah. So then, that was good. We did that. We had golf, and then I won in the beanbags, cornhole, and then that was Saturday. So then I had to come back home because Sunday morning I was working, tearing out a conference downtown, whatever. So I just was driving in Saturday night to sleep at home rather than just going from the country place to work the next day. So here it is. It's like 10:30 or so on Saturday night coming home. And what do I find myself in but an old-fashioned redneck road rage incident.
With you?
With me? Yes, sir.
You got redneck road rage.
I was road raged, I guess you would say.
Why?
Yeah. Well, here.
You feel embarrassed?
Do I feel embarrassed?
You
no.
were the road ragee?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I was being raged against. And you know me.
And a machine.
Yeah. It was the machine. My car was the machine, I guess, being raged against. So anyway, here it is. I'm driving home 10:30. I guess it's like Saturday night, and the boys are out cruising in their big white Chevy pick-em-up truck, and they got their. So basically, how it all started was we're driving through a construction zone, and these guys are driving behind me, and they pull up real close, and they have their high beams on, and not only are their high beams on, but they got those bright ass LED lights. You know exactly the lights I'm talking about.
Dude, my eyes are already bad enough at night, dude. It's terrible.
It's absolutely god awful. So their brights are on. They're riding behind me in this construction zone with their high beams on. So instead of going 70 miles an hour like the regular speed limit, I slowed down to the construction zone speed limit. It's like 55 miles an hour. I'm like, well, all right. If these guys are going to be dicks behind me, I'm just going to slow down a little bit. So I guess me doing that was enough to trigger these guys, because after we get through the construction zone, I pull over into the opened up lane, and they go to pass me on the left side. And as they're passing me, they're going real slow, and they're all looking out the window and like doing this and that. And I just kind of turn and I give them the old shaky dakey, grip it and rip it. The jerking motion is what I'm doing with my hands for everybody who can't see me. I gave them the jerking motion, and I just like douchebags as I mouth douchebags as I'm giving them the jerking motion, and they're driving slowly by me. And then after they get by me, I put my high beams on, as I'm behind them. And I guess that was enough to trigger them even more, because then they brake checked me really hard. Like I heard skirt, like his tire skirt, and I had to just dip around him. So obviously it's to not hit him then. And then from then on out, it was just these guys taking turns of either following me or driving next to me and trying to yell at me for about 10 more miles.
Holy shit.
10 miles I got these guys riding next to me.
What were you doing during this time? Engaging?
No, at this point,
Were you scared?
No, 100% not. They're a bunch of 20-something-year-old white hillbillies, dude. What are they going to do?
Well, a lot. I mean, you never know fucking Hoosiers like that.
Well, yeah, they kept trying to act like they were going to hit the front of my car, and so I just kept driving normal.
Let them, dude.
Well, I'm in my lane. You know what I'm saying? So I'm driving my lane. I'm not speeding. I'm doing the normal speed limit. I'm following behind cars in front of me, and these guys are speeding up, slowing down, doing all sorts of this and that.
I'm picturing the driving crooner right now. He's like, oh, frat guys. And they pull up, and like, we're going to fucking kill you, driving crooner.
It was kind of like that, because then we get back into St. Louis County, because we're out in the boonies when I picked these guys up.
Like,
yeah, Hillsboro more or less at this point. So we get into South County. I'm heading towards 270 to come up north, and so we get into South County there, and as we hit our first stoplight, they pull up next to me and they're yelling, "Hey, fuck you, pussy!" This and that. I'm like, if you guys weren't driving like douchebags, it would be no problem.
Did you say that?
I did say that. Yeah, I did. 100%. I said, if you wouldn't be driving like douchebags, there wouldn't be an issue. He's like, oh, get out of the fucking car. You fight me, you fucking pussy, and this and that and the other thing. I'm like, I'm not getting out of shit. And then we kept driving. Them. There's 4 of them, 4 dudes.
Would you go on one-on-one?
No way. Would I have? Shooting? Sure.
You felt like you had nothing to prove, though.
No, I have nothing to prove. I'm not going to fight. What are we, fucking teenagers? No. You don't fight when you're a grown-ass person. That's a stupid thing. That's...
Well, I mean, also, you could say you don't fight, but you could also argue that you don't have to verbally, throw back and forth. You can ignore them.
Yeah, 100%. But then you just go ahead and look like a major
you're like, what are we,
bitch.
teenagers? I mean, you did do the whole jerk off motion to them. If we're talking,
well, yeah.
True.
Look, all right. There's a fine line you have to walk here between.
No, I get it. Like
being looked at as a total, lame-o that everybody can hack however they want to, or just fucking staying the ground and being like, hey, dickwad. So, I said that to them at the first stoplight. We go to the next one, and they're out the window saying the same stuff. And I finally just say, I said, all right, look, I can't blow all you guys. You're going to have to just keep sucking each other's dicks. And then the light turned green.
And you were just by yourself saying this shit?
Yes! What? I just was tired of these dudes.
Were they pissed then? Were they still pissed?
Yeah,
they didn't like that comment?
No, they weren't fans. And so now we get on 270 and they're just following me along 270.
Did they follow you all the way off Dorset?
Well, I didn't. What I ended up doing was since they were following me all the way from like South County area, we got along 270, and right as I got to the Manchester exit, we were like right next to the exit. I turn the wheel and hurry up and get off at the Manchester exit, and they missed what I was doing and went on down the highway. So I went ahead and lost them there. But what I was gonna, if they would have kept following me, I would have. Yeah, I was gonna. What?
Would you like go to that Circle K or something?
I went down Ballas and got back on the highway later. But if they would have kept following me, my next move was drive to a police station, because like, hey guys, these guys followed me for 30 miles almost, and they keep telling me they want to fight me.
Went out of their way.
That's what I was wondering. I kept thinking to myself, like, how far are these guys away from where they were trying to go? I don't know. I don't know.
They could have been coked up, dude. You don't know. You act like you weren't in danger. You never know what people do. They could have pulled you fucking out of the car and killed your ass.
No, pulled me out of the car. I would have had to stop and get out of the car for that to happen.
I mean, that is a crazy thing.
It was crazy. Don't get me wrong. I agree. It was crazy. I just was like, first off, they're driving like douchebags, so I'm not just gonna not let the douchebags.
Thing is like, oh my gosh, like they need to stop allowing. I don't know how that's even legal, because it really impairs my vision.
Like, no, I agree.
You can't tint your windows, but you can fucking blind somebody else with your lights.
So, I agree. No, it's messed up that the lights are your thing. It seems like more and more people just drive with their high beams on all the time now, and I don't know what's up with that.
It used to be, when you're on the country roads, you have your high beams on, but you see somebody coming, turn them off right away.
It's real easy. It's real easy. I think people don't know what any of the dashboard lights on their car mean. They just look down and they're like, oh, Christmas tree, pretty. All these nice lights.
Is there a Christmas tree on dashboards now?
No, Christmas tree light because of all the lights, pretty lights.
Oh, yeah.
Just making silly jokes.
Man.
So maybe I didn't act. Maybe was I in the wrong? I don't know. I didn't act maybe the best, right? I guess if I just totally would have ignored him.
Something's going on here with the audio.
We're losing the headphones every once in a while. It's still recording, so just ignore that, I guess.
Yeah, I might. Anyways, it's not that I'm ever in a position to say who handled things correctly and not. I mean, you and I both have had our fair share of verbal altercations in slow pitch softball, so we engage in banter. And
don't get me wrong. I remained calm, right? Like I was never like meh, 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 yelling. I never flipped him off. Didn't do anything like that.
No, I mean, but you did.
I gave him the jerking motion. Sure, I gave him and I said douchebag. So I don't know.
He's doing like the if you've seen Hangover, the chow when he says "so long, gay boys."
I think if I say I gave him the jerking motion, most of our audience will.
But I wanted a chance to quote
come
chow.
on, Xavier. We have smart listeners. We have a well engaged and a well educated audience base, because those are the kind of people we speak to.
More and more people. I used to shout out every week to the 2 or 3 listeners that are tuning in. But dude, I mean, I really do appreciate the people that have been texting me and stuff and saying that they're listening. It's appreciated.
We
and
do love the feedback.
I really do. It really means a lot that people take the time and are listening to episodes. And literally, when they're texting me, like they're quoting parts of podcasts. So it's cool.
So
cool.
let
It's
me
fun.
know, guys. Am I a douchebag or is that guy a douchebag?
I'm sure Brennan will let you know in the YouTube comments.
Yeah. I'll say it's all my fault, and I egged him on. I deserve to be followed for 30 miles.
He's like, you probably were the one with the high beams on in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. I mean, that was probably that was a good lead. But another thing I wanted to head on is the St. Louis Cardinals. Man, it's a fun time right now to be a Cardinals fan. We're 33-18 on a 33-18 run since we were 9 games under 500.
We've had the best record since then, huh?
Best record in the NL, I think. Maybe best record in baseball. But we just won again today. We've won 4 straight series. I mean,
you like to see it, honestly.
It's got me pumped up, dude. I mean,
you're a Cardinals believer again, huh?
Well, I was kind of a believer going into this year. I thought for sure we'd bounce back, but I lost all faith when we went to 9 under. I remember text message, another Brendan reference. There you go, Brendan, getting your full. Brendan had texted me when Contreras got hurt and said, is that the Cardinal season? I said the Cardinal season was already over. I said, but that might be a top 5 pick. God bless you. I said that might be a top 5 pick now. And geez, man, since Contreras got hurt, which is crazy. He was our best player. We went on a tear, and I'm just really excited because we haven't had playoff sports. I mean, Battlehawks.
We're gonna rally around our players, and we're gonna play good baseball.
We're gonna win the World Series.
Wow, are you just calling it? Is that what's happening?
No, but I'm just excited. I'm excited because I think that we could bring playoffs. Like we haven't had the Blues and Cardinals haven't been in a playoffs in over a year, which is very, we don't experience that often in our lifetime that both teams miss.
We had that one playoff soccer game where we played like dog shit.
Didn't
Don't
watch.
you remember? He said, didn't watch.
I got a lot of shrapnel for that, by the way.
About soccer? A soccer boy? Or
Lots
just
of
soccer shrapnel? So
people did not like my.
I love the Cardinals.
Shouts
out to Cardinals.
Shit all over soccer, and people didn't like
Baseball season's long. We'll get back to the Cardinals talk. I have to know what Xavier has to say about soccer. So
I don't take back a single thing I said.
I didn't think you were going to. You said, I see. You got a lot of negative comments about your soccer takes, is what you're telling me?
At least 3 different people, including my mom.
Come on. Well, we know Colleen's a big soccer stan. She's a fan.
But come on, I was doing it
it's a great sport.
I was doing it sticking up for baseball, which nobody loves Cardinals baseball more than my mom. She'll watch even when we're 20 games under 500, and she'll be just as into every game. So I guarantee you, she would not be as in. I mean, first of all, the older generations going on Apple TV is already kind of it's not as popular of a platform. It's a little harder. It's a whole separate thing than just being able to go on DirecTV stream. It's like,
brother, I've meant to cancel my MLF subscription like 3 months ago, and I keep forgetting.
You're paying for that?
Well, yeah, I was watching soccer just like the next guy. I wanted to see what was up, and then I kept seeing Thai soccer games, and I'm like, this is horseshit.
Oh.
I actually just haven't had any time.
You were watching games.
I haven't watched a single game this year. That's the problem. That's why I have to cancel it.
You cannot even say you're a fan.
Well,
right?
I'm a fan.
You hope they win, but
I'm not as well engaged as other fans.
I'll tell you this: I was a fan for one game.
Not a fan.
It was the first game, the first S.T.L. SC game. Was the only game that I was like, I'm going to be a fan. This was so fun. That was it.
He said, short-lived.
Yeah, never ever have I.
I'm a fan.
There's a guy.
We'll get you to a game, and then we'll be hooked.
No,
I'm not even being to a game, but I want to go to a game.
I'll be hooked,
maybe,
dude.
He said, dude.
I could see me being hooked on soccer if I was like in the. Even the people that like get really big in the English Premier League, I'm not knocking that. Like, there's a lot. It's like I could see that being
it's
fun.
Not a knock.
Yeah, I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, like, to get like, there's no way that MLS is gonna ever leapfrog any of the other four in front of it.
Well, leapfrogging is definitely.
Oh, and there were
Much
some
more
points brought up that I'm going to counterpoint. We were told that we don't follow up on previous episodes, but that is going to be debunked here.
He said, and right now
I was sent stats to counter argue
to debunk or
to
disprove
debunk what you.
and to really bring back the good name that we have.
This was in
top
response to
broadcasters.
Bob basically saying that baseball is losing revenue and popularity going down. So I was sent growth in baseball. League revenue in 2023, Major League Baseball revenues increased 10% to $11.3 billion, up from $10.2 billion in 2022. Franchise value since 2002, the average value of MLB teams has increased year over year, with an increase of nearly $100 million between 23 and 24. Regular season attendance in 2023, regular season attendance increased by nearly 4% to just over 32 million tickets, up from 31 million in 2022. So I think maybe it was a little bit of a local decline that we were projecting across all baseball, but it seems by not just TV ratings, but in revenue and in attendance league-wide, it has been going up steadily. I think it might just been a local thing that we projected across.
I don't know what you mean in this we. I meant what I said.
You said it's declining, but those numbers would say something contrary.
I guess what I'm meaning is declining as far as like cultural relevance is what I'm mostly is what I was getting at. Like the numbers can be what the numbers are. There's a lot of ways to extrapolate revenue from businesses, and I'm sure they've gotten much more savvy over the last handful of years of how to gain their revenue. And there's still TV deals that are gonna be, getting figured out, and they're getting paid off at these high end. The back end of some of these TV deals are the big bits of money that are getting paid to some of these teams. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to it,
the brass
in
tacks.
a few years time, when a lot of these TV deals come up, what's going to happen? Most of these advertisers and TV station stuff aren't going to foot the bill. They're going to want to negotiate down their contracts.
You think?
I don't know. I'm not an expert, but that's what it seems like.
Now, I will say that, so I've been watching the games via DirecTV stream, and if DirecTV, I thought that was a big thing. Oh, DirecTV is going to fold, but the stream, I like DirecTV stream, and if they can make that kind of switch, and you got your YouTube TV, I think we're already kind of in I think that is a big part of the annoyance here. I think we've already talked about that. Is the whole thing with Bally's up in the air, and whatnot. But you're getting 162. Maybe 155 if there's 7 national games, 155 local broadcasts,
right?
Which I think still is pretty popular region by region.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see it going down.
Saying that it's still popular. I agree. I'm just saying the legacy of it doesn't feel as deeply seated as it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
And we've talked about that. I just wanted to get that response out there because that was sent to me in a response to your takes of baseball being
good. We need more people doing research because God knows we're not gonna do it.
Yeah. So there it was. So there's a response. There is a rebuttal to last week's episode, and
we got our other fun segment about summaries and catching people up. So I wonder if Xavier would do us the favors of reading the summary of last week's episode.
I had forgot. I haven't. So this will be the first
should
time.
be good because I purposely I don't edit them as I let the chat GDP come up with the summary. I input little bits of information and I say pop out a summary, and when it pops it out, I look it over once and just to make sure there's like nothing just to make sure that there's nothing that wasn't totally crazy, or there's nothing that I need to like spell check or whatever. So after I read it over the one time, I just go with it. So there's no editing.
Oh, dude, I actually got sent part of this already. I saw, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's great. I especially enjoyed this one last week.
Welcome. Last week's episode was entitled "Dry Mouth, Dry Knees, Death," which
It was the title.
Did we say that at one point?
Yeah, we were talking about prescription drugs and their side effects.
Oh, yeah.
I said, this one could cure itchy elbows, but you're going to get dry mouth, dry knees, and you might die.
Yeah, yes. So this was the synopsis on Spotify of last week's episode.
And on YouTube.
Welcome, episode 11 of Sit, Talk, and Listen. Happy beginning of the month to all of our listeners out there. We kicked off today's show by catching up on your hilarious YouTube comments.
That Brendan Butler really cracks me up.
Seriously, you guys crack us up. On your hilarious
It's one comment. It's hilarious. I didn't even write hilarious. All I said was caught up on YouTube comment. And it's
caught up on your hilarious
chat GDP decided to put it hilarious.
Then we dove into the intriguing dynamics of heroes versus villains in sports. Are Olympic trials the ultimate hero-villain battleground? I don't remember that being a topic at all. We were talking about
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
We were talking about Athene Mo.
And then we transitioned into Olympics, and somehow it just globbed those two thoughts together.
Then we dove into the intriguing dynamics of heroes versus villains in sports. Are Olympic trials the ultimate hero-villain battleground? Speaking of which, did you catch that Dutch beach volleyball player with the unforgettable dance? Oh my!
Wait, what does it say? Unforgettable dance? I don't remember that part. Oh no! I might have to edit this one.
Did you catch it?
Oh no!
Did you catch that beach volleyball player with the unforgettable dance moves?
Why?
We couldn't decide if it was impressive or just plain weird. Hold on.
Dude, I must have missed that line.
I missed that one. Statement. We.
Oh no!
That's so fucked up.
I gotta proofread these a little better. Oh, gosh.
Transitioning from sports to the workplace, we shared stories about our weirdest coworkers, from the guy who brought a pet snake to the office.
Didn't talk about that.
Did you do
I read it once. No, I didn't. All I did was I put in the topics we talked about.
Pet snake to the office.
It must have said, you know what I think it was? Is I prompted it, I said, make it mildly humorous. I said, make a mildly humorous podcast summary of these topics. And I
Did you catch a beach volleyball? So, in reference, this beach volleyball player that we talked about last week was found guilty.
They know. He assaulted. Yeah, he's an assailant.
I mean,
he's a
unforgettable dance moves, terrible verbiage.
People are just gonna be, they're gonna read the summary. They'll say, "Oh, this sounds interesting."
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, that was.
They didn't talk about his dance moves at all.
Transitioning from sports to workplace, we share stories about our weirdest coworkers, from the guy who brought us pet snake to the office to the lady who always rehearsed her karaoke routine during lunch breaks. Thanks, AI, for writing a more entertaining summary than our actual work meetings.
I told it. You
added that?
Because that was one of the bullet points.
Next up, we revisited MLB's popularity compared to soccer. Are Americans finally catching on to the beautiful game? Or are we obsessed with baseball stats and hot dogs? Yes. Of course, we couldn't ignore the buzz around sports gambling. Who knew you could bet on synchronized swimming? Can you?
I'm sure you can. What do you mean? I'm sure you can.
And a daring move, we tiptoed into politics. Discussed the latest presidential.
How brave.
Discussed the latest presidential debate. Did society really ask for these candidates, or do we get stuck with them? And speaking of odds, what are the chances that we're too dumb to talk politics but still do it anyway? Did you add that?
I mean, no. I just prompted it.
I mean, that's pretty. Here's the one that was sent to me. Switching gears, LeBron James' son getting drafted to the Lakers got us pumped up for the upcoming 4th of...
Nothing like Bronny James to get you excited about Independence Day.
Switching gears, LeBron James' son getting drafted to the Lakers got us pumped up for the upcoming 4th of July celebrations. Are fireworks overrated, or are they the only reason to look forward to family reunions?
No, this is
Join us next time,
great.
which is right now, for more laughs, questionable opinions, and hopefully fewer snake incidents. Thanks for tuning in.
zero
Don't
snake
forget to like,
incidents.
subscribe, and comment, especially if you ever worked with a coworker weirder than ours. And we skipped a lot of weird coworkers.
that's funny.
I was reminded that we had some weird ones too at O'Malia's and Marsh for that run there.
That's true. There was some, but it's like
Yeah, but no, I mean,
it's a little different.
I know, but I'm not even saying in that realm.
But there was.
I'm talking about even people that worked in the deli with me.
Oh yeah, trust me.
I mean, the girl I got Aria from was a strange bird.
yeah, and
I think
who's the one guy? Joe in the front end. Wasn't that his name? He hated you, Manager Joe.
Nick.
Manager Nick.
Yeah,
I think he was just jealous that you were a superior Nick.
yeah.
He didn't know how to handle it.
Turns. Hey, now who's got a podcast describing unforgettable dance moves? Nick. Dude, that dude always wore a shirt that was like the button was in a full court press to get
Pop off and take an eyeball out.
Oh my goodness, you remember that?
Yeah. He
Gosh, that guy
Nick
hated me.
liked to wear the tight sweaters.
There was that weird ass fucking cashier too that you worked with, Matt. Vukasic.
That's it.
Weird
Guy. I don't know. He talks
Whatever
about,
happened to him?
he probably listening to some indie record somewhere or something fucking lame.
Probably not listening to this.
Yeah, not listening to this. No
Oh, my
feedback
goodness.
whatsoever.
But yeah, dude, I was like, man, we really let some of those cast of characters slip through the cracks there. We didn't really get into the Kia guys, which we got into
Kia
Jevin,
boys.
but we didn't even bring up like.
Oh.
I mean, that was a whole cast of characters.
Here's
dude.
something I'll say, and I didn't specifically get into that at that point. I guess I wouldn't even think about it. Some of the most, bizarre cast of characters of people I ever met was in the car trade.
Oh my goodness,
Scott
McFarlane.
Dachshund.
We're really just we were good at that.
Josh
Carlson. Got there.
Frank Inman. We're just gonna go through them all.
But dude, oh my gosh.
I mean, just these are people you can make an entire movie script about some of these characters. You know what I'm saying?
And you see why there are movies on car dealership. I mean, that's kind of
It takes a certain personality trait to do that, like, for a long time to make it a viable career. You got to be a certain type of person.
I mean, and like if they were doing the list, though, you would say that they probably would be adding us, or at least Grant and I, for some of our antics. They'd be like, Grant and I would probably be making some list of characters.
I'm sure Josh Carlson tells everybody about you guys. Like, oh man, I had the craziest guys used to work for me. They flipped shit, broke tables.
Josh, that guy really was drinking his own Kool-Aid. Chill out, dude.
Chill out, dude.
You were a financial manager for a fucking Kia in Bloomington, Indiana.
Yeah. Know your place.
Nah, I'm not saying know his place. I'm not trying to disparage him, but he really, he felt himself a little bit. When you really zoom out and, think about,
I know he likes to think his shit don't stink.
Yeah, so... almost every job I had in Bloomington was weird.
Interesting cast of characters. There was a lot of. Don't trust college townies, man. When you people know what I'm talking about when I said you work and you live in a college town because you're going to school there or you're hanging out with people that go to school there.
Well, the Starbucks that I worked at that was cool, but that was mostly college kids, not a lot of townies.
Dude,
I think
townies are the ones that are the weird
well, the
ones.
GM was Tyler Boyd, more doxing, and Tara. They were but they were cool. They were cool. So, yeah, crazy that was 10 years ago.
Brother, tell me about it.
What, right?
About it. Yeah. No, you're right. Oh,
wow.
Time, how it slips through our fingers.
Speaking of time slipping through fingers, Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Have you seen? She was singing at a performance. Obviously, she was performing, and she couldn't get to she couldn't hit the note she was going for, and she just broke down, had a breakdown. And that is,
I heard about that. She's got some sort of sickness or she's down with sickness, brother.
So
it's the sickness.
I just thought it was interesting, man. It's like,
yeah, that's one of those things. You know, you can get you could be 75, 80 years old, and you can pick up a guitar, and you can, you know, as long as your fingers and stuff are still moving around, you can usually do pretty good, and it's still gonna sound like you playing 99% of the time. But the voice is just one of those things that all it takes is the smallest little indigestion or, you know, a little bit of a head cold, and it instantly becomes different, like how it feels when you're singing.
So you don't
the
think
sound
Celine
of your
Dion's
voice.
permanently done?
No, I don't know. She might be. I think I heard it's a degenerative like disease that she's had going on for a long time, from my understanding.
She's cooked.
So maybe, I mean,
That's sad, man.
Mother Nature, Mother Time, Father Time doesn't wait for anybody.
Mother time.
Mother Father Time.
Who gendered these things?
Some
Who decided time,
some man in the
father,
past.
nature, mother? But it just makes sense. You would
Does
never
it?
say father nature. You never say mother time.
I guess because we.
But what does, you know what I mean?
Okay, got me. I guess
That's all
'cause
we've known.
The masculine thing is to be on time,
Is that right?
brother. I don't know. I'm just reaching for straws, grasping for straws.
I don't think that's it. The masculine thing is to be on time. How the AI is going to have fun with that?
We'll see. I'll see if I
Hold on. dude.
generate the.
I just want to go back to that and say the fact that the AI said that the Bronny getting drafted to the Lakers had us all jazzed up for 4th of July. It's fucking-
Because like I said, all I do is I just say, you know, give me a summary, and I just bullet point the
We're gonna
things that
need
we
to
talk
edit.
about. What do you mean? That
The
makes
Dutch-
for good comedy.
No, the Dutch. I don't want to be associated with. If we had to ponder if that Dutch volleyball player was interesting or whatever that said, that's
doing
crazy.
the dance.
Oh my goodness. So
Okay, we can pivot from that guy.
we can.
We will adapt, and we'll be better, and we'll come out of this stronger. And we hope that our loyal fans can forgive us, and honestly, just still want to ride it out with us.
Transitioning and adapting and overcoming. I think it's pivoting into a little more serious.
Pivot. Oh,
Not serious, but
well, what do you got?
it's just a topic in general of like something just. I think, you know, like when life gets to some hard points, you know, I think that you can kind of go one or two ways. You work through it, or you can lay and become the own mess that is your mind and things. And I think, you know,
Yeah.
for me, generally going through a little bit of a mental rough patch and just getting through it. Like, one of the things I do enjoy is recording this podcast, is
Oh yeah.
and that, and
a little-
just get. I think when things happen in life, you have to just go through the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm kind of watching secondhand or firsthand. I'm watching firsthand. Somebody else kind of seemed to be going through, and just kind of become what I'm kind of seeing what happens when you don't get ahead of it, and you can just.
it's quick to spiral.
Oh
It's
my goodness, dude! I don't
the
think sometimes
compounding
you
nature
realize,
of- yeah.
you know, like you're just kind of like,
Emotions.
yeah, every day just coming home and going straight to bed and rinse, wash, and repeat, and spending all that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's why it's important to, you know, find things to do and that keep you engaged and keep you feeling motivated to, you know, get up every day and do something and do this because you know you got something positive to look forward to.
Yeah, it's like the
So the more you, not just you, but the more the general you, the people, more that anybody, me sometimes even obviously, the more anybody just sits around and kind of gets caught up in a stale routine, you know, where you're not really doing anything that you feel good or productive about, then the deeper into that funk you're going to get. So the quickest way to get out of it is to break up that routine and try to start something new. Yeah, try to start a new routine.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. Just to
Peek
pull
behind
back the curtain, peek back behind the curtain,
Just see how the sausage is made.
I've been in a little bit of a funk, but I'll tell you this, is that I am encouraged. I feel pretty good about just getting up and doing it when you don't want to, whatever it may be. Obviously work. Like, nobody wants to fucking go to work.
You got to get out there and find that fucking dog.
Exactly. And that's the correlation I'm going to make, because if you don't, dude, you're just going to be more and more miserable. So I encourage anybody, if you're going through or just not liking whatever it is, just keep fucking getting up and be proactive. Attack the issue. Do not just lay in bed and expect, all of a sudden for you to stop feeling sad. Yeah. You're going to feel more and more sad.
It's just you got to always ask, what can I do today to make tomorrow a little easier?
100%. 100%. So that's just a little transition.
A little
it's just
detour.
something what's been on my mind. We were in a little crossroads here, so I just thought I would pivot to bring up that. And
I know, I know you've been going through it a little bit, and I'm there. I'm there for you. I've definitely had my moments. Yeah. So I'm glad to get it out there. It's a good message. It's something that people need to feel good about talking more often about, because it's not an easy thing to talk about.
Yeah, I think in the past,
when you're feeling down, because people just want to discredit when anybody's feeling down, of like, oh, they're just being a little baby, or they're being whiny, or this and that, or like, oh, I got things I'm going through also. So it's easy for people to disparage somebody when they're being open about their, not feeling chipper all the time, because it's all right.
Yeah,
if you feel chipper all the time, you're fucking lying.
Or I want what you're having.
Or I want 12 of what you're having.
I think there are some people who have almost like found like such a groove in life.
Doug Von Nirvana.
That dude, I mean, the perspective, to have a perspective that is not faltered, that's pretty enviable.
Yeah. I've gotten better at leveling it out over time. The roller coaster of highs and lows isn't as high and low as it once was,
Yeah.
So I guess that's a better way to be. Hell, I don't know. It's less fun sometimes, right?
I mean, I would say likewise, dude. I used to be completely debilitated by my moods, or I'd be completely euphoric by my moods. Like, even though I'm in a bit of a funk, that's kind of the point I was making. Like, in the past, dude, I remember Marcus one time had to come in my room and be like, bro, Xavi. He's like, you gotta get the fuck out of bed, man. And I'm like, damn.
He's like, he's right.
I'm like, dude, yeah, I wasn't doing shit. Like, now, Yeah. So I would say I have found a little more of a middle ground, and
that's good. That's the way I think that's important, to be able to.
You gotta get out there and find that fucking dog, dude.
I swear, best advice ever. Thanks for their
that's it.
Shouts out Billy Madison.
You don't just what do you say? You just don't just look for the dog for 30 minutes and call it quits.
No, you get out there and you find that fucking dog.
Hell yeah, brother. But anyways, kind of pivoting out of that, out a little life talk here. What any life talk you want to have? Any other topics that you've had in mind since the last week? That's the thing. If we record every week, there's not completely as much. But you did get in a little road rage incident. We've covered all that. And
quite a bit of.
I mean, dude,
hillbillies raging.
Is this going to be our shortest episode ever?
No, it's short. We went to little Chuck's Hot Chicken last night. Shouts out to the Nashville Chuck's Hot Chicken,
dude. It is fire.
Yeah,
I kind of go for some Chuck's.
Just planted the seed in Xavier's head for some.
I wonder if it's closed. I'm staying out here tonight.
Yeah,
gosh.
So
man.
we got that. I mean, it's a slow time for all the sports right now. All the spurts. We got a hurricane that just came through.
We do.
What we got on the horizon? I got a lot of work this week doing some conferences downtown, and I got some work. I've had a bunch of gigs. Played at Webster Community Days last week. A little carnival.
A carnival?
Downtown Webster. Yep.
I
All
don't-
the carny
I-
rides.
Outdoor show tomorrow.
When's the last time you've been on a carnival ride? Like Scrambler.
Within a year.
Within a year, huh? What
Yeah,
carnival were you at?
we went out to the Hillsboro, DeSoto fucking fair last year.
You're out there trying to find the country boys.
Truck pool. They did the truck. They did that. I went to my first truck pool. This was probably in September.
They have some guy named either Randy or Travis performing. Maybe Chris or TJ.
Well, now Travis Travis Scott has kind of.
He's ruined it for the country guys.
I mean, there's not going to be a more famous Travis than Travis Scott. But there is a Randy Travis, isn't there?
Yeah.
But anyway, I did go on that, dude. I don't know how there's not more deaths per year.
I'm telling you, some of these rides are shaking all which ways.
Have you seen that video where that one carnival ride where everybody had to fucking
They were
jump
caught.
on? No, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. it was
everybody had to
tipping.
jump on because it was tipping backwards, and like 20 different people had to come and jump on that bitch.
I did see that. I did.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they're like, where the fuck was the carnival operator? Like, oh, hell. This thing is getting out of control. I was over there having my cigarette break. So the only thing that I can imagine was happening. Hell, I don't know.
Dude, carnies, that is a strange world. Theo Vaughn had a carny on his podcast, which it was a pretty interesting episode. I mean,
I feel
this
like-
guy was like born into the carnival game, and
Really?
like he's pretty well spoken and stuff. Like he didn't,
But yeah, how many? That's the minority carnival worker.
no, but he still looked like the carny, and I mean, he definitely did. Like
Had some road miles on him, huh?
he definitely did, but he was born into it, into the carny
I don't
game.
know. I just
Check out the Theo Vaughn carny episode. It's pretty good.
I feel if he was born into it. I mean, his parents are probably the OG carnies, which would put them into this. I feel like a large percentage of carnies are trying to avoid either the law or
well, it's not lucrative.
ex-lovers. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing it because they're trying to avoid something being detected somehow or another.
Well, then on this episode. This guy was talking about too, which is like a new thing carnivals are doing. They'll get like people from out of country and they'll sell them on. Oh, do you want to come see America and like all this
Oh,
shit?
to get them
and,
to work.
Yeah, and they'll like kind of trick these people into thinking that they're going to come get a work visa and they're going to get to see all of America because
Yeah.
they're traveling around. Carnies
Right.
travel. And this guy was like, they don't really see America. They see the same thing every time they're inside this carnival world, so they're not seeing America.
It's the,
like a lot of times they
Empty
get
parking lot with some rides on it.
and you sleep there a lot. The carnies
They
are
got
sleeping there.
the trailers and shit.
You're there for the 2 or 3 days, and then you pack up, and then you're on to the fucking.
The next one,
What a life, huh?
it's like a worse way of being a touring musician is being a fucking carny.
Yeah, because
You
at
know?
least the touring musicians, like you could probably go check out the cities and stuff before.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're on the road crew, you're going to be doing the work, but still, at least you're like, oh, we get to put on this great show. And it's just one thing. You're not sitting there. All right, turn the ride on and off. Open the seatbelts. All right, on off.
Is carnies the least attractive profession?
Ooh, big question. Big question. I don't know. Do you
Like,
think
do you ever see a hot male or woman carny?
I haven't spent too much time
Dude.
making a rankings list?
But
I
you've
brought
been.
that one in
You
for if
haven't.
you want.
Oh, that's for me.
Yeah.
Oh, good shit. 1 second.
So I was saying, usually I get a quick view and I'm like, no, not for me. So I kind of stopped there with my ranking of carnies' looks and appearances. So I couldn't tell you if there's any hot carnies, but my gut tells me there's probably not. Maybe like 1 or 2 hot carnies out of the entire bunch of them all.
Both guys, just from percentages.
Yeah, there got to be.
Not zero hot carny women.
Yeah, probably young hot guys.
Let me Google hot carny and see what comes up. Dude.
Don't do it on my Wi-Fi. I'm kidding.
No, I'm not on the hot
But
Wi-Fi.
most is it the least attractive profession? I don't know.
It's got.
Is it is it less attractive to be a carny or unemployed? Like altogether.
I mean,
just outright.
Dude, this is what we're working with. This is about right. This is the image that comes up when you see sexy carny. If that is the cream of the
Who is
crop,
this man?
it's just a sexy carny.
Why does it look like Dirk Nowinski and Rob Gronkowski smashed together and had a person, and that's that carny?
Dude, it's not. Anyways, I want to hear everybody's opinion on this. Is carnival
What other
workers the
profession
least?
is like poop
I can't
shoveler,
think of one, dude.
trash
No,
truck
there could be-
driver?
No, dude, what? Why are we coming? I do not co-sign this. The last two that Bob said. I will co-sign the carnies.
The carny workers are attractive, but if
dude,
you're
trash,
a poop shoveler,
yeah, that's.
I'm just asking the questions. I'm not saying
Someone's
that
got to
I.
shovel poop, and someone's got to work the. First of all,
Somebody's
being
got
a
to
truck
work the
driver,
carnival rides. For these
a truck
children's-
picker upper, they can make good money.
A truck picker upper.
Truck driver, trash, truck picker upper, trash. I'm looking at hot carnies on my phone. Hot carny, dude.
Too
There's
busy
no
looking
hot
at the
carnies.
It's not. I guess they're not
You
real.
even Google image. I'm looking at Google image hot carnies. Not a single one.
They can't show me one. They can't show me a single hot carny. And they could have lied. They could have showed you anybody, been like, yeah, he's a carny.
If you're a hot carnival worker, you're getting out of the carnival game.
Yeah. What do you think they transition into from there? Just purely into escort business?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans? No. I think they're
No, dude.
male escorts.
But
What other professions then? What else could be considered least
that's
attractive?
what I'm saying.
besides
Carnival work,
work?
dude, it's got to be the least attractive game. There's not I can't think of any other job that
I feel like there has to be, because I feel like there's some people that are like, "Oh, carny worker." They travel around like they kind of look at it like. I mean, and trust me, when I'm talking about people that look at carny workers and get a little sense of like, "Ooh, they're mysterious" or whatever. Like these are big Hoosiers themselves, but
they're smoking decades, dude.
smoking decades, and they're probably drinking on, Everclear or something.
There's no fucking hot carnival workers.
It's not that they're hot, but I'm just saying that there's some real Hoosier people out there that could look at these carnies and be like, "Oh, they're mysterious and they're carny work."
So you think there's an
badass.
uglier profession on average?
Yeah, and maybe not even like uglier, but just ones that people would look at and be like, "Ew, no, not attracted to that at all."
I feel like there's probably some attractive dudes that are garbage truck workers. For sure.
But again, it's not about them being attractive and then doing the job. It's about if you hear the job and you'd be like, "Oh, is there anybody attractive?"
No,
that
I'm
does
talking about literal. I'm talking about literal, dude. Show me the numbers. That's what I'm saying.
Show me the money.
But you're talking about in my head when I hear of something.
Yeah, like
Even
if you
then.
hear the job, you're like, "Oh, that's an unattractive one."
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Meth dealer? You figure they're not.
And I'm also trying.
Probably.
I'm also I'm pretty confident we have no carnival workers that are going to listen to this. But I'm trying to think of any other.
Probably the meth dealers and the carnies
Yeah,
overlap.
but meth dealer is not a profession. I mean, it's a,
Tell that to the meth dealers.
but it's not like government
Recognized, sanctioned.
Like you're not paying taxes on the meth you're selling.
That'd be funny if they did. They're just like, "Here's my tax cut," and they send it into the man, and they get busted. So, "What's this tax money from?" "Oh, that's my meth business." I thought if I paid taxes on it, it'd be legitimate.
One day, I think that all drugs will be legal.
We're on that slope. I mean, we're heading that direction. It follows the same principles of gambling and everything else like that, right? Personal
Anything they can
liberties
tax,
and choices.
brother.
Yeah.
They'll never do it for our benefit.
No. It's right. Anything they can tax.
I'm having a lot of technical difficulties.
Moving the mic, popping the mic. That kind of stuff.
Dude, I mean, I think this is going to lead to good. Okay, next week we will come back.
The most I'm gonna think about this is right now.
No, I want to see what people think.
Well, we can. Yeah, we'll
Text me,
leave some comments.
email me.
There's too many people
comment.
to directly text you. We got sit, talk, and listen pod@gmail.com. And
Yes, email us at sittalkandlisten@gmail. That'd be awesome to get an email.
sit,
dude.
talk, sittalkandlistenpod@gmail.com.
Sit, talk, and listen pod at gmail.com.
Yep, get it right.
Yeah, dude. Let's get some emails in there.
Get it right, get it tight.
What do you think we'd have to show to try to get some kind of sponsor on this show? What do we have to work towards? Probably some video.
Consistent growth. We already got thousands of listeners, obviously. So we probably just need to double that.
No, I think thousands of listeners will get you a sponsorship.
Get our download numbers up.
Download it.
And, we're on the right path. We'll get producer Tony on the job of salesman now. We'll get him wearing that hat and calling these local businesses and telling them how much we got to offer. Hey, I saw not our sponsor, but shouts out to Seth Goldcamp. I saw one of his employees out this weekend at the country estate. They were wearing the Design Air shirt and hat. I said, "Oh, you must know the Goldcamps." He's like, "Yeah, I do. I work for them. That's great. This and that and the other thing." I said, "That's awesome. Tell him I got a podcast for him." I didn't tell him that. But
dude,
I should have.
We should see if Seth would get us on board. Be like, "Look, we don't have the numbers because you're not sponsoring.
Yeah.
You sponsor, numbers come, bam, Design Air.
Win, win, win."
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be awesome, though. Anyways,
these are the goals. Or maybe we get such a strong grassroots fan base that everybody would prefer us stay ad-free and just want to pay on like a Patreon or something to keep us ad-free because they don't want this, super intriguing dialogue that we have to ever be interrupted by.
I already feel uncomfortable even discussing anything of the sorts. I don't want...
You don't think people...
I would never ask people to...
Our content's not worth paying for?
Stupid shit that dribbles out of my mouth. Bob's so disappointed. Dude, we are morons.
Well... We are morons, but there's also a lot of other morons out there that have successful shows, so why not us?
Well, I think we'll just keep doing it, man. I love doing this for the fun of the game. Yeah. If for whatever reason, anything I do in entertainment ends up getting me paid one day.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody'd listen. So I was okay with that. I just wanted to listen to myself because that's my favorite thing, to listen to myself talk. I'm real big into it.
Well,
yeah,
dude, I can't. Like, it's so hard for me to listen to this after I record it, which is why it's so funny going back and reading the synopsis because I don't really remember. Like, I don't completely remember everything that we talk about. So then
those little details could be
when I'm reading the AI's version of what we said, dude, it's so freaking funny because it starts triggering what we actually talked about, and then I'm seeing what they're saying we talked about.
Yeah, and
it's so freaking funny, man. But
no, the AI summaries are staying. Maybe I'll just be a little more diligent in my proofreading.
I don't know. Only when it's a topic like that.
Yeah.
We can't have us calling sexual assaulters dancers and then asking if we like it or not. Like, but today I don't think there's any topic. I don't care what AI says today.
I'm pretty sure the only thing that I put in for that bullet point was like Dutch beach volleyball Olympian scandal or something. I'm pretty sure it was like the bullet point.
But you told them make it funny.
I said mildly humorous summary.
You just can't make that situation humorous. But today, I don't think there's anything. I can't wait to see what they say. Your synopsis for your little run-in with those Hoosiers.
Who knows? I probably won't. I won't have a huge bullet point for it. It'll probably just be like road rage incident. Summarize that for us,
dude. That's become my favorite segment. I like that we have a segment.
Yeah, well, maybe we just start with segment sponsors. We'll get ChatGDP to sponsor that segment.
You'd have to say their name right.
What is it?
You said ChatGDP.
So it's not
ChatGPT.
It's not gross domestic product.
That's usually a good start to get sponsored is to be able to pronounce their name correctly.
I feel like Iggy, ChatGDP, ChatPDT. Who gives a hell? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, maybe they'll sponsor. Maybe fucking Maybe the pasta apartment will sponsor us.
Yeah, or maybe we could, get Moe's. Imo's.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude, that's hilarious. That's one of the funniest moments of this podcast through 12 episodes is always comes to you just mispronouncing or misremembering something like the.
That's one of my trademarks. I don't know if you know that about
dude.
me.
I hope that doesn't change.
I usually just go ahead and say whatever words are trying to come out of my mouth, and then most of the time it's not solid. It's just some random thoughts and words put together, and then the words don't come out right. It's a whole what for. But that's just the inner workings of my mind. It's an enigma. It's confusing to me even most of the time.
Do you realize it like once it comes out? Like, are you like, well, that wasn't what I meant?
Yes. And then I've just, sometimes you'll have to backtrack. Sometimes I have to backtrack. But usually I just try to play into it. And I just am like, well, that's we're going to go with that. We're going to go ahead and take this left turn.
I'm trying to backtrack.
Going to take this left turn, and we're going to go ahead and play into the weird word or the weird statement.
Pardon me.
I would say. Well, we got Jason Tatum to sign a contract. Do you think it's unique? Not unique. Do you think it's a coincidence that it was $314 million and he's from the lovely place of St. Louis?
I do think it was a coincidence. I do. But I mean,
100% coincidence that Jason Tatum is from St. Louis,
and
he gets $314 million.
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine?
He's good.
Being a player that played in the '80s and like being like,
he said, "This fucking guys, we built this league."
Yeah, but I mean, you can't really. Well, at what point do you think sports started turning into like, oh, they're set for life?
90s, mid 90s. Mostly mid 90s, and then obviously the 2000s is when it really started to change to where I think because like the 90s there was like the top 10% of players were making absolutely life-changing money, and then like there was probably 30 or so percent of players outside of that were making pretty good money that they probably could use most of their life if they were smart with it, but they would also probably do some post-career work. But there was still, 60% or 50% of the league that was making minimum or just above in the 90s, and that wasn't, enough to be able to nest egg much. They probably came out of the league and had a decent house and something like that, but nothing else much. Then I would say probably by the mid 2000s, so 2005, 2010, you really started to see it switch to where it was more like 40%, 50% of players were making enough money to where they would have a good nest egg if they were smart with it after they were done playing, and they didn't have to jump into whatever job. They could chill on that for a while, and you probably had 20% of players making life-changing money. Now I'd say most leagues you got 25 to 30% of the players are making life-changing generational money.
I don't know about most leagues. I think NBA.
Well, NBA, you definitely have like
if you're
25%
an NBA roster,
30%
there's bench players making just
because of the low numbers,
a year, dude.
Just because of the low numbers of the rosters.
Yeah.
But even on the low end, NFL guys, if they have a 5-year career, they've probably made over $1 million.
Yeah, but you got to think there's 53 men on the roster, and 30 players are relevant.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about.
So the problem, bottom half of each roster. Oh, so yeah. I guess about 20% of the NFL is probably making
minimum
life-changing money.
So that's probably.
But even then, $1.2 million a year for like some of the bad players, probably it's not life-changing, but
that's enough. Like I said, to
if you invest it right,
if you do the right things with it, you 100%. Can make that money work for you your whole life in a way. You can take whatever job you'd want and not have to worry as much about what you're making because you've already set up retirement accounts and you got money growing and whatever the fucking stock market and stuff, all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
fucking financials, dude.
Yeah, but I wonder though. I wonder imagine being a player in the 80s, like a top 10 player, then maybe you think if you were a top 10 player in 81, you made millions? No.
Ooh, what league?
81 NBA.
NBA. Top
Because
10.
they have to think now. Like,
are we talking like top 10 in the league?
I wonder,
like one of the top 10 players, or just top 10%? What are we talking about?
Yeah. No, top 10 players.
I feel like all the top 10 players probably earned. What did you say? Over $1 million each year? Yeah.
In 1981? No way.
Maybe not 81. Maybe not 81. Probably by 91.
But I'm just saying, like, they have to be like, wow, if I was born now, I would be a hundred millionaire.
Yeah, I'm sure that's
you know, like there's some like not average, but there's some players in the NBA that are not even top 50 that are making 25 mil a year.
Just being average. Ooh, excuse me.
Meanwhile, the best NHL player only makes like 12 and a half. They call it sheets. 12 and a half sheets. That's $1 million.
Who does?
They call them sheets. If you 12 and a half sheets a year, that
Who
makes
does?
$1 million. The NHL.
Oh. I didn't know they called them sheets.
Yeah. Come on, dude. Get your NHL slang up.
Dude, my Chell slang isn't
It's not,
great.
dude. It's not.
I didn't watch enough
Listen to it much Spittin' Chicklets?
that, and well, what's the show? Fucking the Canadian dudes, and they got the
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny, thank you. I didn't watch as much Letterkenny as everybody else. So
I watched Letterkenny when I was when I lived with Jeff, your dad.
you guys watching it together? Could you? Just the thought of it's funny. I couldn't even imagine coming in and just walking in on you and Jeff watching the Letterkenny.
Or anything.
or anything.
Letterkenny. No, Letterkenny would be funny. Like, Jeff's like texting me, like, Nick, you gonna be home, Letterkenny? I don't want to start the next episode without you. But
Oh, man.
does your dad watch any show, like, in sequential order?
Oh, yeah. He's a big series and shows fan.
Is
For a
he?
while, yeah. For a while, he wouldn't start a show unless it had like 3 seasons already, because he didn't want to waste his time with a show that only had 1 or 2 seasons.
I remember that. Yeah. You said that he was into that.
Yeah, I think he likes.
Does he listen to the pod?
No, I don't even think he knows it exists. Cares to find it? None of those things. not his cup of tea. If it was on the regular radio, he'd listen to it, but no, probably
HMIT.
finding something to listen to on his phone. No, that's way too much work. I can't dig up any information on the fly. Our producer Tony is failing, trying to figure out if the top 10 NBA players made $1 million in 1981 or not. So you know what? We'll look it up. We'll have it for next time.
We'll do the research. But yeah, dude, I just think about that sometimes. Like, that would suck.
Mm-hmm. So what's coming up? What we got going on this week? Anything you're looking forward to? Anything you're not looking forward to?
Everything. No.
Nice and short, very concise,
I did forget,
to the point.
Dude, I'm
forgot.
0 for 2. I kind of want to go to another escape room.
Oh, fucking escape
Back to the
rooms.
escape rooms. I did forget to bring this up. Yeah. Now that we mention
Jesus.
it,
Not
I
worth
enjoy
it.
them. What, dude? This was the first episode you said
Dude,
that.
just saying, I wasn't gonna pay no $37 or whatever I paid.
Well, I just paid $34.
Oh,
Didn't escape,
oh.
and it was fun. It was in Baldwin.
How close did you get? Any idea?
Literally, the girl said we were if we had a minute and a half, we were on the last thing.
Yeah.
Because this one started in the dark. We were blindfolded.
Oh.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Dude, there's a couple things that, like, during the, because, you can ask the people for hints, like, they're watching in. The
Right.
Just kind of Big Brother-ish, like that. They're watching you the whole time.
Always watching.
We're in the pitch black, and then, you find yourself some dim lighting, and we get to a point where it says, the the clue spells out scream, like scrambled letters. We figure out this is scream. So then we thought that meant like, oh, we have to, because there were some locks there that had like 5 letters and shit. So we're like thinking, oh, is one of the locks spelled scream, this and that. And then Billy was like, oh, maybe we're just supposed to scream. No one did. 10 minutes later, we're like, hey, what is like, are we missing something with this scream thing? And the girl was like, I think it's more of a suggestion. Like, oh, we should have screamed. So if we would have just done that,
you would have bought.
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
But I enjoy them, but I'm now 0 for 2, dude.
Yeah. At least you were closer. I remember saying at the time, it's not I enjoy the puzzle aspect of it. I enjoy that, the task of it all. I didn't enjoy paying as much as I paid for it, like for an hour. I don't know. If it was a little bit cheaper and maybe I get a little Groupon action here and there, I'd feel better about it. That's all I was ever saying about it.
Yeah.
And we were kind of in the same ballpark. We made it to the very last thing and we were turning all the stuff over to get the last code that we needed right as the timer went out. And then we got the code like right as the timer went out. We just didn't have enough time to pop the code in and open the door and finish the room. Yeah. Well, that's good. So you went to the escape room. When was that?
Saturday. I went and I eventful Saturday. Had lunch at Helen Fitzgerald's.
Mm-hmm.
Then
What'd you have at the Helens?
Cajun chicken pasta.
Oh, Cajun chicken pasta.
I don't know what that was. Cajun chicken pasta. And then I went and played some mini golf with my brother and cousin Jacob.
Where'd you go? Putt Shack?
Concord.
Oh, that's like a super old mini golf course.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with it.
Mini golf at Augusta.
You're the one taking offense to it.
I mean, your face and tone said different.
Well, hey, nobody else can see my
Saturday,
face.
Dude. It was a fun Saturday, and then
that's good.
So we went. And
I like me some mini golf.
We mini golfed. And
Did you guys bring your own putters, or just use your cocks?
No. What the fuck? Was not expecting. What's happening?
So I take that as a no. Just rent. You just got what they used what they had there. That's fine.
I won.
That's for the best. Oh, Xavier. You played 9 or 18?
I don't remember the last time I've mini golfed and not won. It's the opposite of golf.
So, okay, you got the mini golf on lock.
Mini golf on lock. But my cousin Jacob had 3 hole-in-ones. But like his...
Wow.
Yeah, pretty... Especially...
I mean, he's not known for his athletic prowess. So... Color me shocked.
I mean, but there were some questionable in between holes for sure.
Some blow up holes.
Yeah. He's regretted a couple of. He
wish he could get those
16. Back. Yeah.
Sometimes you lose it on.
But yeah, so eventful Saturday. But I meant to bring up that I went to the escape room because we have already mentioned escape rooms before on here. So just a little callback to that.
Second bullshit escape room.
Next
talk.
week, I would like to maybe do another escape room Saturday. I want to get right back at it because, like I said,
you're feeling hot on the escape rooms.
No, I don't like being a loser, and I don't like being 0 for 2 at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan had went with us. He was 10-1 going into it, and
you guys messed up his average.
We did. Now he's 10-2. My brother did say the 2 that I've been on are 2 of the hardest 3 that he's gone to, and he's gone over 20.
Dang, Billy liking his escape room action.
Yeah, so I guess I just go
What's
to hard
his
ones.
record?
It's over 500.
Okay,
like
Billy.
I said, the 2 that I failed, he said, are 2 of the only ones he's failed. And,
yeah.
But also, I have to take a look in the mirror. Maybe I'm the reason these things are failing. Not that they're harder, but maybe I'm not contributing enough.
You're coming in trying to lead the bunch. And,
I definitely don't do that.
And people are like, "No, Xavier, you're not a leader. You have never done this."
No, they don't. Maybe I need to take more of a lead.
Oh, calling out the team now.
No, I don't know what was wrong. I was joking. It's probably is me, but it was fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
$34.
I think $30 is my peak for where I feel good about paying for an escape room.
But you'll spend $34 on a
what?
dinner that's gone right away.
It's different.
How?
Because the food tastes delicious and they make it fresh
But
each
some
time.
people really like escape rooms and they like doing
I'm
things
not
like that.
shaming
It's
anybody else
exhilarating.
that wants to go and
Well-
spend that money in escape rooms. I said what I would feel comfortable paying and what I would want to go for my enjoyment. Like what you know what I'm saying? How much I like doing the escape room versus how much I enjoy $30. You know, that food is worth it for me to pay more because I enjoy that experience more than I enjoy being stressed out for an hour that I can't solve a puzzle.
It is stressful. I do think, too, I still stand by this. They should have an escape room. There is no hints. You can't ask for hints, but there's no time limit.
Yeah.
You get in there, and you literally cannot escape until you escape. You can't
I'm
ask for
interested in
any
that.
fucking hints.
I know they don't do that because obviously, you know, you'd have some morons that would be in there for 7 hours and they would take up your escape rooms all day, you know, and you wouldn't be able to sell more people
We'll sign a
that
waiver
experience.
and charge more. You don't pay until you leave. You pay for the amount of time you spend in there.
Now that's true motivation. That's what I was saying at the time. I was saying, charge me for the time used.
Well,
If I finish that puzzle in 25 minutes, charge me less.
but you didn't.
No, I know. It's just,
And they would have still charged you the same, but no way. But yeah, so okay, I think that's all. That's all that I really have to say.
that's all I gotta say.
This next week, no, we're going to see A Quiet Place 2 tomorrow, so
Okay.
maybe I'll try to remember to give that review. We'll see. I will. You know what helps about reading these AI synopsises is that if I don't remember right away, by the time we get to that segment, I'm like, oh yeah, well, I am supposed to review this.
Right. No hilarious YouTube comments to get to this week.
No, there is none. Leave YouTube comments.
Make sure they're hilarious.
And
I'm supposed to have a gig tomorrow, but the rain might keep that away. So we'll see. Like tomorrow evening, a little
95% chance. Your phone saying 100?
beep 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 beep. Yeah, but my phone's on some bullshit with the weather. Usually, it's always.
We need to call Iggy.
Yeah.
He has a Doppler.
Get the radar from under his bed.
But yeah, I think that's all I have to contribute this week.
So if that's all that Xavier's got to contribute, Lord knows I never have anything to add. So I guess that's going to do it for us. And until next time, peace.